Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making chicken tortellini. I started by seasoning my chicken. I added some Italian seasoning, some seasoning salt, and I coated my chicken with some oil so that it would stick. I'm gonna mix that all up, and then I'm adding some parsley and some fresh cracked pepper. Cause girl, if you're not sneezing, it's not seasoned. Now I'm going to be using my all-time favorite cooking appliance, my Ninja Foodie all-in-one smart cooker. Today I'm going to be using it on the grilling setting. I set it to high and it preset to 15 minutes. I'm just going to roll with it and keep an eye on my chicken. While that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and fill a large stock pot about halfway with water so I can cook my tortellini. But don't be like me, don't walk away from the sink when you run out of water. By this time, it was ready for me to check on my chicken.
Nope.
And give it a flip. A couple minutes later, it was done and boom, it looks bomb. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I had to hit y'all with the close-up because, girl. Okay, editing. I went ahead and minced up some garlic. We love garlic in this house, so I used 5 cloves. I'm gonna go ahead and start heating those over medium-high heat and some oil. Now, I prefer to use a pan like this when I'm making a sauce, just because as this begins to caramelize, I'm gonna keep all that flavor once I add my liquid. Now I am coming back and I'm stirring it occasionally just so that it doesn't stick to the bottom or my garlic burns. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my tortellini. Today I chose to use this family-sized 5-cheese tortellini. I'm just cooking this tortellini according to the package instructions. Now don't at me for what time I'm cooking. I know it's late. I quickly am realizing that filming while cooking is at least doubling my cooking time, so I'm definitely still learning. I'm gonna go ahead and add some Italian seasoning to my pot with my garlic, and at this point I would be adding in my heavy whipping cream. Unfortunately, I forgot to pick some up at the store, so I'm improvising. Okay, because I can make something out of nothing. I went ahead and added 1/4 cup of butter to 3/4 cup of milk. That gave me the equivalent of 1 cup heavy cream. And just like that, I got what I need. I added that to the pot and I'm letting it simmer. Then I went ahead and added a 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Don't forget about your food now. You better be coming back and stirring it occasionally. My tortellini is done, so we're gonna go ahead and strain it. And I'm just gonna add it directly back into the pot. The starch from the noodles is definitely gonna help my sauce begin to thicken. Now I have a question for y'all. Do you clean as you cook? Because it's mandatory in my kitchen. It makes cleaning up after dinner so much easier. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to add some cherry tomatoes. I figured they would complement the sun-dried tomatoes really nicely. So I'm giving them a rinse and I'm adding them straight into the pot. Now I'm gonna move on to my asparagus because nothing goes better with sun-dried tomatoes than asparagus, in my opinion. I'm rinsing them off and then I'm gonna go ahead and snap them. The reason why I choose to snap them by hand instead of cutting them is because they typically break where the tough portion of the stem begins. For me, this is the easiest and most accurate way for me to make sure that I'm not getting any of those tough pieces. And you already know, I have to try it. If you're not trying your food, what are you doing? Now, I did go ahead and decide that I was gonna add a cornstarch slurry. Super easy, just equal parts cornstarch to water. That's gonna go ahead and make sure that my sauce thickens up the way I like it. Now I'm adding my asparagus. I cut it in half and girl, what's going on with the camera angles? You can definitely tell I'm new to this, but it's okay. I'm gonna get my life. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm making sure that everything's incorporated. I'm putting on my lid and oh, there she is. There she is. We're back, y'all. All right, so it's looking good. Gonna just make sure I'm keeping it moving. I'm not letting anything stick to the bottom. I'm breaking up some of those tomatoes and then I'm gonna let it keep simmering. After about 10 minutes, the asparagus is soft. My sauce is thick, just like I like it. And I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. Now, like I said earlier, you gotta taste your food. You cannot give out food that you haven't tried. I'm not doing it. So it's tasting good. I went ahead and turned down the heat so that my sauce doesn't reduce too much. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my chicken. I'm setting aside a couple pieces that I'm gonna use for plating, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the rest. Everything's really starting to come together and it smells delicious. I'm giving it one last stir before I go ahead and top everything off with some Parmesan cheese. And bam, it's done. Time for the big reveal. Are you ready for this? I think we're ready to plate. Now, when I plate, this is usually my husband's plate. He gets the best plate in the house. I'm not even gonna lie. Presentation is key. It can smell good, it can taste good, but if it doesn't look good, I don't want it, okay? Are you getting hungry? Because I know I am. It's time to eat, y'all. Don't forget to wash your hands. Bye.